What's up, guys? Jesse Soto from BRPS title with my boy Nick Hebert with PRMG, Mr. Mortgage Lender. How you doing?
I'm doing great, brother. I appreciate you.
Good.
Appreciate it.
Well, Nick just finished a class here at BRPS over YouTube, and it was fantastic. So I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, anytime, brother. Had a good time. Had a good turnout, good time. Always like trying to educate realtors and anybody else in the business on how to leverage their business to be found more, right? That's what we're trying to do, is we want everybody to know what we're doing, who we are, and what we can do for them, right? So
yeah,
that's what we did.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And, I just wanted to get Nick on here just to talk a little bit and also have a little bit of bourbon. And it's a funny story because Nick came, a few weeks back?
Yeah.
And brought me this bottle of Rowan's Creek. And you said this was one of your faves?
It's one of my favorites, brother.
I absolutely love this bourbon as well. It's made from the Willett Distillery. And if you know bourbon, you definitely have heard of Willett.
Yep.
And we're gonna pour it in our wonderful BRPS title glasses.
I appreciate you. If you don't have this bottle, you need to go get you one. It's really good. It's it's not expensive, right? It's very cost effective, I feel like. A lot of people like to buy Willett, just the regular Willett, because of the shape of the bottle. Everybody thinks the bottle looks cool, stuff like that. In my opinion, it's not my favorite juice, though. You know what I mean? That's not my favorite. But if you want to use it for some water afterwards or put some flowers in it, you can do that.
Yeah.
But what they will always have is they always have Rowan's Creek. And Rowan's Creek is really good. It's 100 proof.
Yeah, it's nice.
So it's real nice. It doesn't drink. I feel like it doesn't drink like 100 proof.
No.
You know what I mean?
Don't put fire in your thought.
Speaking of, I probably should.
Cheers, brother.
Yeah, cheers, brother. Yeah. Cheers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good bourbon. There was a while there where I couldn't find Rowan's, and it was kind of sad.
Really?
A little sad, yeah. I think it's one of those ones where not many people know about it, so it's kind of under the radar.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this, please don't take it from specs.
Don't take all of it. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's a little bit of a sleeper, right? You know, it's one of them ones. It's one of those jewels, I think, that you can find that not a lot of people know about, and it hasn't been allocated yet, like everything else that we're trying to freaking get, right?
Even
like,
Buffalo Trace.
It's horrible. Between like Buffalo Trace and Weller's, just Weller's Reserve Green Label.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody should be drinking that. Like, y'all don't want to drink it. Don't drink it. It's terrible. So don't drink it, because that's what I drink. And I've been drinking it before everybody else was buying it. I felt like it, just like everybody else out there. And now all of a sudden we have people with like 20 bottles of this stuff that they don't even drink it because all they want to do is collect it. So it definitely sucks when when you've had a daily drinker for years, and then all of a sudden it's like it's just pulled out from under you. Like, nope, can't have that no more.
So you're gonna call me a liar, and I promise you I'm not lying. One of my daily drinkers was Blaine's. Back in the day, you could get it for like 45 bucks, find it everywhere, and then just all of a sudden it felt like one day, just gone. Everyone just drank it all, and now you can't find it anywhere. And it was funny because my now wife, but she was my girlfriend at the time, she went for Father's Day, not Father's Day, sorry, just my birthday or something, like 7 years ago. And she went up and she asked him, she was like, "Can I get some Blanton's at Specs?" And they just laughed at her. Yeah. And she's just always known me to drink Blanton's. And I was like, yeah, you can't find it.
Kind of looked at you like you were crazy.
Yeah.
It was almost the same like back then, I say back then, it's not like we're super old, but 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, like you just go in and get the Eagle Rare, get the Taylor, get whatever you need to do. It sucks that it's now all this hunting and paying overpriced. The people on secondary market are just being ridiculous with all the price. So I'll be honest with you, I probably shouldn't say this because I want to still be able to buy it, but the daily drinker now, because you have to ask me that, like, Nick, what's your daily drink?
Nick, what's your daily drink?
Wild Turkey 101.
Wild Turkey 101, let's go.
Yeah, and why? Ask me why.
Why?
Because it's very cost effective and it goes great with everything.
That's true, especially Coke.
Especially Coke, Diet Coke, right? Diet Coke, trying to watch the calories here.
I go Coke
right?
Zero.
I mean,
Coke Zero, baby.
When you're trying to watch the figure, you got to do diet. right? But the thing is it's good straight too.
It is.
And then I can find it anywhere. So if y'all start making that allocated, I don't even know.
Dude, I was for a while there just Buffalo Trace because it's a good, inexpensive bourbon.
Yeah.
But now there's been times where I've gone to get it and it's not there.
Yep, can't get it. Can't find it, can't get it. It's behind the, it's behind the counter. They're holding it for their friends or whatever. You like
it's like a $25 bottle.
Exactly.
Bourbon, nothing.
We always switched between Buffalo and Weller. And so I always had both. And a lot of times what would happen is Weller would be like the daily drinker because it's the wheated bourbon. It was so good by itself. And then Buffalo we would use for if we had a diet, right?
Yeah.
Like so a bourbon diet or whiskey diet or whatever, we'd use Buffalo Trace. And why? Because we could get it whenever we wanted to. It wasn't like this bad thing to mix Buffalo Trace with Coke because if I ran out, I just went to the store and bought another one.
Exactly.
That's not the case anymore. Dude, and I'll tell you what, when we were having this problem with Buffalo and Weller, the amount of different types of whiskey that we went through to try to find our next daily drinker.
Yeah.
Right? Because my wife drinks bourbon too. So, the bottles go twice as fast.
Yeah.
Which, depending on what kind of week we're having.
You gotta do it for science, man.
You do. You gotta figure out. I mean, that's the only way to, better educate yourself of how to properly taste whiskey. You just have to drink more, right?
That's
what
sounds correct.
That's what I figured. That's science backed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Dude, you're a scientist.
I mean, they say you need at least 1,000 hours of doing something to be an expert at it, right?
Oh, dude, make it 1,001.
It's the same when you're trying to drink whiskey, bro.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, the amount of different brands of whiskey that we went through to try to figure out what our next daily was.
Yeah.
It was a good amount. We're like, nah, not this one.
Yeah.
Nah, not this one.
What did you do with you had to finish it?
Yeah, we had to, but like, it was one of the things. So like, let's take Old Forester for example.
Love me some Old Forester.
But like,
love Old Forester.
Regular Old Forester, that's 86 proof.
Okay.
Not so much.
Fair.
Right? Because it was like, we were searching for something similar to Buffalo, which is 92 proof.
Yeah.
Hit a little bit harder, right?
Yeah.
So it was better in a diet. When you do regular Old Forester or anything that's like 85, 86 proof, like go take Jack Daniels or Jim Beam. It's just not, when you've been drinking something like this, those aren't as good anymore. Just kind of because of the proof level. When you start expanding your palate to like, man, I'll tell you what, you go down a dangerous road when you start doing like single barrel and store picks and stuff like that. When you start regularly drinking stuff that's 110 proof and above, because that's like all you end up liking.
Not even that. Just I mean, your pocketbook's gonna get a bit empty on that one too.
You ain't kidding. I mean, the store picks are pretty good.
Yeah.
What's your favorite store pick?
Store pick bourbon. It's gonna be no, I'm lying to you. It was I think it was a Total Wine Elijah Craig single barrel. It was pretty good.
All right.
It's pretty good. That's the only one I can really remember. I like a lot of the ones, like some of the bars in Houston, some of their picks.
Oh, okay.
There was one of the best ones I've ever had was a Whistle Pig. It was a Whistle Pig called Bubblegum, Whistle Pig Bubblegum, and it was an 8-row flint pick.
Oh, cool.
And never will it be out again.
Yeah.
And it was the best bourbon I think that's ever touched my lips.
Perfect.
And it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. And again, I still think about this to this day, which is sad.
Yeah. Eight Row is a good spot to go.
It is. It's one of my favorites.
It's definitely a good spot to go. Go try some different drinks and some cocktails. They're pretty good.
There's a new one too. It's in East Downtown, in Edo.
Oh, okay.
It's beautiful.
Need to go to that
rooftop bar overlooking all of downtown. It's gorgeous.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
So I got a question for you, Nick.
Let's go.
I've got a
enough whiskey talk.
It's actually a whiskey question.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
do it.
So, do you know where Mountain Dew came from? The soda, Mountain Dew. Do you know why it was made?
No.
So it's two guys. I believe they're from Kentucky. I believe so. Virginia, Kentucky. They did not like just having whiskey. They wanted to mix it with something. They invented Mountain Dew to be the perfect mixer for bourbon.
Perfect.
Which
How'd that work out?
I've always told myself I wanted to try Mountain Dew and bourbon since that's why it was made.
Yeah.
And I have yet to even try it.
Next podcast.
Next podcast, Mountain Dew and whiskey.
I think that's what we're going to do
We'll
next
say.
time. So yeah, that's what we'll have to do a little bit of pre-planning.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we'll try that. This is not the whiskey to use that for, obviously, that we're drinking right now. No, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah. There you go. There's your fun fact for the day.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a fun fact flashback too, like when
Ooh,
we're here
let's go.
next
Yeah.
time. You want to do that?
I like
Have some
that.
prizes and stuff.
Dude, 100%.
Okay,
We'll
cool.
do that. All right, so let's go to why we're here. I mean, we're here for the bourbon, but real estate market, what's happening. I know there's been, you know, some fluctuations, especially with said financing and things like that. I mean, what are you seeing? What are you seeing in the market right now?
So what we're seeing in the market right now is, you know, there is a lower inventory,
Yeah.
right, going on right now.
Yeah.
You're seeing more bidding that's going on. It's still a little bit harder for people to get their contracts accepted because you have multiple offers coming in. And it's kind of a slippery slope, right? Depending on area. Is it priced right? You know, if there's nothing wrong with the home, we're back in the place where, like, when you are a buyer, like, you are having to make a decision very quickly.
Agreed.
Right? There is
Yeah.
no, hey, let me take the night and think about it, because by the time you come back, it is gone. So what seeing right now is a lot of our buyers that we have out right now is that it's taken us a little while before we can get a contract accepted, because, you know, whether or not you have like the cash buyer coming in, you know, offering way more over asking and stuff like that, our contract may not get accepted in that
Yeah.
way. And when we do it, if we need to, right, if I need to, we'll work back and forth with the real estate agent over what we're going to offer, just to make sure it all makes sense. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to put the clients in a bind or whatever, right? If,
Oh, for sure.
If we can come in with a better offer that makes more sense for their financing. So definitely seeing some of that. You know, the interest rate game, it's always fluctuating, right? I mean,
Big time.
the market's so volatile right now that, you know, we try not to take a whole lot of chances on trying to say the market's going to do this next week, so let's wait till next week to lock in your rate. You know, trying to be very conscientious of that to always be protecting our buyers. So the market right now, that's so hard to even speak on, because I could tell you what the going rate is today, and by the time you watch this video, it's going to be way different. So the only thing you can do is, you know, if you are a real estate agent, is just to make sure that when you do partner with a lender, that they do have, you know, the knowledge of that and how to, you know, watch out properly and when the proper time is to, like, pull a trigger on locking in rates or whatever it may be. And that's the thing. No two lenders are the same. So you can talk to a couple different lenders and they're going to tell you different rates. It depends on their company, how their company prices it out. So, you know, it's just, in my opinion, you know, rates are a big part of it. But the big thing is just making sure that when we're talking to the clients, that we're meeting their financial goals, which means their monthly payment. Of course, everybody wants the cheapest monthly payment. But, you know, if we're doing good service and we're making sure that we're communicating throughout the entire transaction and there's no surprises, nothing like that, and all we want to do is that we want to build up all the confidence in the buyers that they know that they're making the right decision. So that's like way more important than, you know, go and shop around and seeing what the lowest rate is. Can you do that? Absolutely. Do people do that? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what you may be doing is you may be sacrificing something else. If you go and you shop, you may be sacrificing the serviceability, or you're going to close on time, or they're going to do everything right. And so there's a lot of that goes into it as well.
Dude, I'll cheers to that, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, that's one thing too when it comes to lenders, is that, you know, we see a bunch of these like massive big box, rocket mortgage and all that, and when I see that, I'm like, 9 times out of 10 it might not close on time. And it is, especially with, you know, with how fast people are wanting to close nowadays.
Absolutely.
It's insane. I mean, you know, we've had a lot of, I've seen more cash too lately, which is weird because the rates have dipped a little bit lower from them when they were. But I mean, you know, there's buyers now, like, we want to close tomorrow. We want to close the next day, which we actually closed one in 2 days, 2 weeks ago, which was insane.
That's awesome.
But no, so it's changed, I think. And, you know, I mean, I can't read the future, right? But I feel like once it dips down to about sixes, I think there's going to be a mad rush.
Yep.
Mad rush, because you've got those folks that were in the high sixes, sevens, some of them eights. Last year, or now they're year before. Now they're gonna be like, oh man, I'm more than a point. I can refinance.
Yep.
So I feel like we're gonna get a lot of refinances. We'll still get some cash outs, because I mean the equity in most of the homes in Houston have just skyrocketed. I know that, personal experience, my wife and I think we have 200,000 extra in equity just from buying five years ago or whatever. So I think there's going to be a big kind of influx of things coming soon, because I'm starting to see more things finally come on the market, because like you said, there isn't as much inventory right now. So people that are at least that know the industry kind of see that, and they're like, oh, well, right now would be the best time for me to put my home on the market because there's not that much inventory. And I'm seeing my neighbors have 7 buyers, 7 people wanting his house, and I have the same exact house. I'm just gonna throw it on the market.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned a good point about, having all this equity. Do I refinance or do I sell my house?
Yeah.
And there's a couple things that go into that depending on when you bought. So if you bought in the past 6 months, you're gonna have a higher interest rate. And so here over the next 6 months, it could be a good idea, right? It could be in your best interest to refinance for a lower rate. It could be the next 6 months, could be next year. The other thing is if you bought in 2022 when, or 2021, I'm sorry, when the interest rates were super low, you did get a good deal on your home. Not only that, the amount of equity that you built on your home, like Jesse was saying, is a lot.
Yeah.
And so what do I do now? Well, I don't necessarily want to sell my home, right? Because if I sell my home, I may not have a good one to go into. But like, what if I want to build a pool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom.
So if I want to build a pool, I have all this cash that I can access now. And yeah, you're going to be doing a cash out refi on a home that you had a 2.5% interest rate on, and now you're going to a 6% interest rate when it comes. But when you run the numbers, it could still be the cheaper alternative than trying to go through a pool financing company.
Yeah, or put it on your credit cards.
Or put it in your credit card, right? So it depends, right? And we run those numbers.
Yeah.
So like, I'm never going to say, yeah, do the cash out refi with me to build a pool, when in all actuality, it makes more sense for you to go with a pool company's loan, right?
Yeah.
We've done that before. I've done that where I've said, it doesn't make sense. I would be doing you a disservice if you did a cash out refi with me.
Because you're a good dude.
Well, I mean, you got to protect them, right?
Yeah.
You got to protect what's in their best interest, because, when we close a loan with somebody, we have contacts, we have friends. I want, those are friends and those are referral sources for as long as we're alive.
Yep.
You don't want to do something like that to put them in a worse situation, and then you lose the trust, you lose the friendship. And I don't know if I could. I mean, you can't feel good about yourself when you do that.
Dude, 100%. Yeah. Can't sleep at night.
But like title companies, right? Like y'all are a little bit similar when you're talking about the big box stuff, right?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, go to Rocket Mortgage or something like that. You call them a 1-800 number. You need to know somebody's extension or whatever it may be. You do it with us, right? You're calling my personal cell phone.
Yeah.
And it's very similar with you guys too, right? Like with title. Right? You got these big box title people. I mean, are fees different and stuff like that too?
So
is that competitive?
It is. So basically with title, it's a little different because the state of Texas runs our the premium. So so every title company is the same when it comes to the actual premium, the title policy, and that actually is based on the sale of the house. So whatever the house costs, that's what the policy is going to cost, or the premium. Where it's different is the escrow fees. With us, with BRPS, we actually have some of the lowest fees in all of Houston. It's just an all-inclusive fee. It's $500. It includes everything. There's no extras, no add-ons, nothing like that, which every other title company does. Even if they say they don't, they do, because I've seen it. I've worked for them, and I've seen it. So yeah, I mean, yes and no. It's and it's nice because with us, at least too, we get title back within 48 hours, usually in the day. So I mean, it's different.
Yeah.
It's a lot different. You talk to myself, you can talk to Carrie, Jason, any of the people that can make that decision. It becomes a business decision.
Sure.
Whereas you don't have to go through all the red tape.
Right, right.
Got to close local, baby.
Close local, so you don't have to get all these unnecessary approvals
Yeah.
to do all this other stuff too, right? And I think we were talking a little bit earlier, like if you had a difficult file.
Oh,
right?
God,
like difficult. Like, what's the difference of that, of using you guys versus one of these big box title companies?
Oh, man, you're throwing me layups. Let's go.
Yeah, what's up?
No, so with us, we are small enough to where we enjoy doing that stuff. We can do the work. For instance, just in the past 2 weeks, we've closed 4 different files that other title companies could not, because most of these bigger title companies, they want kind of cookie cutter.
Yeah.
They want it easy, kind of just, roundabout, just let's get it closed, let's go. For instance, the one we closed last week had 4 dead people on title. Each of those dead people that, were on title also had, not siblings, but had kids. Mm-hmm. So we had to go through all that. It was with another title company who shall not be named, and it was with them for a month and a half, and they could not get it done. Came to us, the realtor called me, and I was like, yeah, sure, we can see what we can do.
Yeah.
We closed it in 2 weeks. So I mean, it's stuff that, it's small things. It's also, what I love is, if one of our escrow officers has an issue with the file, mm-hmm. we call it the escrow roundup. We go into one of our offices, every escrow officer, myself, the 2 owners, we actually get in and we're like, okay, let's talk this out. We put the file out and we figure it out, and we come as a team for an answer.
Brainstorming.
Even
the owners.
Even the owners. And it's nice. It's nice to see that. It's just a breath of fresh air to figure out, okay, with our 3 escrow officers that we have 2, 4, so we have about 100 years of experience. Mm. So I mean, they've dealt with it. One of them has dealt with it. Yeah. So it's a good community.
Cool.
Yeah. So besides real estate, Nick, I've known you for quite a few years.
Long time, brother.
A little over a decade, I think, something like that. And we started knowing each other when we, and I was just telling this story earlier, we worked at the YMCA after school child care program. The 2 of us dealt with elementary school kids.
They let us watch kids.
Yeah, I don't understand it. But yeah, so I mean, that was some good times, and I still remember, what was it, last year? We hit each other up on Facebook because I saw that you were in mortgage, and I was like, dude, let's get the team back together. Yeah. And that's awesome. I do want to bring it back to the YMCA after school childcare though. What was your fondest, craziest memory, be it after school childcare or summer day camp?
Man, summer day camps, when we would have the gymnasiums filled, when we'd do dodgeball.
Oh yeah, that was a blast. Yeah.
That was a blast. And then we would do canoeing.
Yeah.
And then after everybody left, we would go back in the canoe and go fishing.
Dude, that was a blast. Yeah.
That was cool.
That was fun. Do you remember when we caught like 8 catfish?
Yeah. Remember that one we caught? It was like 40 pounds or something.
Dude, it was huge. It was massive. Huge.
And then somebody ate we gave it to somebody.
It was the director of like grounds crew.
Maintenance or something like that.
And he ate all of them.
Yeah.
He didn't even thank us.
I know. What a jerk.
After we caught all those catfish.
What a jerk. Yeah, after school daycare and then summer camps.
Summer camps was a blast.
Yeah, man, that was cool. We had a good time doing all that.
Yeah, we did.
That's when we didn't have a care in the world.
Yeah.
Just kind of showed up. And
yeah, now we've got wives and kids. And
I send them to daycare now.
Like, the wife or the kids?
That's a trick question, though.
That is a trick question. That's a gotcha. That's a gotcha question.
You got me on that one. I'm just going to say the kids for right now. Get in trouble.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that.
Yeah, man, we've gone back quite a ways. We each have our own stories on how we've, gotten to where we are right now. And I think it's great that we were able to reconnect. And now, when we first knew each other, we were technically in the same industry.
Yeah.
And then we both went our different ways. I spent over a decade in the oil field.
Yeah, you did.
And then coming back, I'm hoping this is where we finish our careers in the same industry.
Yeah.
Right? So I love it, being able to hang out with people that I enjoy. And that's what I say about this business too, right? Is that we get to choose on who we work with, really. And that's what I love about it, right? If you don't get along and you don't like each other, I mean, you can cut ties. Like, you don't have to work with that person anymore if you don't want to. Whereas if you work for an employer, you may not like your coworker.
Yeah.
If you don't like your coworker, you still got to show up to work every day. So
Well, almost every day.
almost every day. Depends on if you're still doing a hybrid or work. Man, if you work from home and you don't like your coworker, you may.
Yeah, I've got a great divorce attorney for you if you need it. Name's Tina Floridia, and she is phenomenal.
Yeah. Hit me up when you're ready to buy your next house too. Once you get divorced, we'll help you do that.
Yeah, but dude, I'm looking at the background with the clouds. That's pretty insane.
Yeah. Just think about this. This could be you. Your face could be within this title house after you close your next deal here.
And you could closing cocktails.
Yeah.
Bring it
Sponsored
back.
by BRPS, right? Am I getting paid for this?
Dude, 100%.
Okay, cool.
Bourbon. I like that. But dude, so I always ask on this, when we kind of finish up, have you read anything recently that you really enjoyed? Any books, any podcasts, anything like that?
Yeah, I will say, as of right now, my favorite book still is 7 Levels of Communication. So if you are a realtor or you're in this industry, it's called 7 Levels of Communication. I had a good friend of mine, she actually gifted it to me. I read it. It's by Michael Mayer, I think is the way you say his name. And it's a great book, right? When you have your levels of communication, we always want to be staying in what's called the influence zone. When we work our business is strictly on referrals. So we have to make sure that we're always in front of people, being respectful, being professional, seeing what we can do for other people's businesses. And this book definitely goes down there of saying how you stay in what's called the influential zone. So everybody's always thinking about you and stuff like that. So I would say, I've read books since then, but like that one still, I like that one. So I tell everybody about that one. Pick up that book, read that book. Yeah.
I like that. Okay, and favorite places to eat around Houston? Restaurants, bars,
dude,
whatever. Just hang out at.
So yesterday,
And if you say overalls or
swamp
donkey,
crawfish place. Nah, listen. So I was actually there yesterday, and I've been there a couple times. Huey's.
I love Hughes.
Dude,
Yeah.
Huey's is awesome.
Yeah, shout out to Alfredo.
Yeah. Oh, Alfredo. I
My
know,
next
right?
door.
Next door neighbor.
Yeah.
What's up, man? So Huey's is awesome.
Yeah.
Like really, really, really good. That's like top of mind right now is that. You know what I mean?
But that's
like,
a hell of a place.
Eight Row is a good place to go drink.
Dude, 8 Row Flint needs to pay me for this because I have mentioned them and the guests have mentioned them
A lot.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite spot.
Yeah, that's a good spot. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what I'd say. Huey's.
8 Row.
Perfect.
Love it. Well, dude, I appreciate you, man.
Cheers, bro.
That was a hell of a class. You guys give Nick a follow. What's your Instagram? What's your Facebook?
So Facebook's Nick Hebert, and it looks like Hebert, right? So it's Hebert. Instagram's going to be Nick Hebert Linder. If you want to know more about me, just go to Jesse's page. I'll be somewhere on there over the past couple days. You can look me up in friends on there.
And you'll be tagged on this too.
Be tagged on this. I'm the bald guy, so that's cool, man.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Of course, man. Until next time, guys. Cheers.
Mountain Dew and whiskey next time.
Mountain Dew and whiskey.